Well, in today's class, I'm going to discuss the properties of a triangle. The first one is sum of three angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. How I got sum of three angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. You may go to the previous lessons and you can watch the video. And the second point is, let me give a quick example. Point A is, let's say that you are given a triangle. You are given a triangle. Okay. Let's say that this is the triangle. So how the sum of three angles of a triangle is already explained earlier. You may watch the previous videos. Let's say that this is some 70 degrees and angle B is given as 50 degrees. And what is the value of the third angle? What is the so find angle C. You'll be asked these kind of questions. You'll be asked these kind of questions. Right. So you'll be asked to find the missing angle. So remember, sum of three angles of a triangle is always 180 degrees. So here, angle A plus angle B plus angle C equals to 180 degrees. It's given that angle A is 70 degrees plus angle B is 50 degrees and C is not known, equals to 180. You know, we can combine 70 and 50, that gives me 120 degrees plus C equals to 180. Here we use simple algebra. Here we use simple algebra in order to get the value of C. What we do is we go for inverse operation. I see positive 120, therefore I take the inverse operation, that is subtract 120 on both the sides. You get 180 subtract 120, which is 60 degrees. That's it. So a quick example of first property I explained, and coming to the second one. The second point says that the sum of two interior angles of a triangle is equals to third angle's exterior. In fact, let's say that there is a triangle with an extended side. Let's say that this is A. Oops, I'm sorry. It is point A, this is B, and this is C, and this one is say some P. Let's say that this is given as 70 degrees and this is given as 50 degrees. Already in the previous example, I explained how to figure out the missing angle. You know, after computation, we get 60 degrees. Already I explained in the previous example. Let's say that this is 60 degrees. I hope you remember that straight line makes 180 degrees. So straight line makes 180, or straight angle equals to 180 degrees. Therefore, if it is 180 degrees, what is the value of the exterior angle? So you may take this way, that is 60 plus x equals to 180. Probably by this time some of you might compute it in your mind the value of x2. Okay, so we go for inverse operation. So take away 60 degrees on both these sides in order to isolate x, then you get 120 degrees. Therefore x equals to 120 degrees. Now let's not bother about this angle, and if you compare and see what is the relation among these, like A, B, and the exterior angle. If you observe carefully, you see that angle A plus angle B equals to the exterior angle ACP. Exterior angle ACP. ACP means this one. So 70 and 50, when you add, you get 120 20 degrees. So that's what the second point says. That's what the second point says. The second point says that sum of two interior angles. So if I sum up angle A and angle B, I get here 70 and 50. That gives me 120 degrees equals to the third angle's exterior. So I see that the third angle's exterior is 120 degrees. 120 degrees. Therefore, here it is ACP, which is 120 degrees. So what kind of questions can you expect? Means like two angles may be given and one of them will be missing, and you have to figure out what's the value of that. Anyhow, when I take some questions from my worksheet, then I'll explain these kind of questions. And coming to the third one, base angles of an isosceles triangle are equal, and the third angle is known as angle of vertex or vertical angle. This is a pretty easy one. Probably you learned in your lower classes too, like when you were in elementary school. Let's say that there is an isosceles triangle, which means a triangle in which two sides are equal. My bad, here it's looking funny. Okay, so let's say that here is the triangle, here is a triangle. Oops, it's not a straight line. Okay, so finally got it. So here I'm taking a triangle. I'm taking a triangle ABC. ABC. Please remember these marking indicates that AB equal to AC. And an important thing is the angles opposite to equal sides. I know that AB equals to AC. Therefore, the angles opposite to these sides will be equal. So this angle, please see that I am taking double strokes here. Double strokes here, we call them as base angles. These are equal in measure. These are equal in measure. You see that if angles are equal, then opposite to these angles are equal. And the third angle, which is not marked, let's say that the third angle is here. This is the third angle. We call this as angle of vertex. Angle of vertex. So what kind of questions can you expect? Means, for example, say that here in this particular diagram, I'm taking angle B equals to 70 degrees and what is the value of angle A? We know that sum of three angles of a triangle equals to 180. Always keep this point in mind. Sum of three angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. Please don't directly jump into the solution part because when you write the rules again and again, you may forget the answer. But when you write the rules, that guides you and that leads you. Maybe after 6 months, maybe 1 year, if you are solving a problem related to triangles, then if you remember the point, the rule, once when you write it, that leads you to the answer. Well, here the angle A plus angle B plus angle C equals to 180 degrees. Angle A is X degrees, angle B is 70. Oh my gosh, angle C is missing. But friends, remember that we already discussed that base angles are equal. Base angles are equal. So whatever the value of angle B is, the value of angle C is also the same. So it is not mentioned. I know that angle C equals to 70 degrees because angle B equals to angle C. So 70 plus X equals to 180 degrees. You can sum up 70 and 70. That gives me 140 degrees. So X plus 140 is 180 degrees. Here onwards, simple algebra we have to take. So we go for inverse operation, which is subtraction of 140 on both the sides. When I do that, 140 gets cancelled, and the value of x equals to, take away 140 from 180. That gives me x equals to 40 degrees. So the important thing is if you take an isosceles triangle, the base angles are equal. The base angles are equal, and two sides are equal. So two sides are equal, and two angles are equal. Okay, that's point C. And next, point D says that the point of concurrency, let me clear the screen first. Oh, okay, let me clear off the entire screen. Okay. So point D says that the point of concurrency or meeting point of medians is known as centroid. So first of all, let's talk about what a median is. So let's say that a triangle is given. Purposefully, I'm taking a scalene triangle. I can take equilateral or the isosceles triangle, but if I take a scalene triangle, that gives you a better idea what we are discussing about. Okay, so let me duplicate this one. So let me label the parts, whatever. Okay, this is A, this is B, and this one is C. I'm once again taking the same triangle ABC. You know what a median is? A line segment drawn from one of the three vertices. What are vertices? This point, I call this as a vertex. So point B is another vertex and point C is another vertex. So the plural form of vertex is known as vertices. The plural form of vertex is vertices. Now, if I'm taking the midpoint, please notice that let's say point M is the midpoint. This is the midpoint of BC. Therefore, the line segment joining one of the vertices, that means one point I'm taking, and midpoint of opposite side. I'm taking the midpoint of opposite sides. If these two are joined by a straight line, we call this as a median. This is known as a median. Now, I'm taking, let's say, one median from point A to its opposite side BC in the second diagram, and I'm drawing a median from point B. Please remember, median means the line segment that is drawn from one of the vertices. So B is another vertex, and that is drawn to AC, and it is dividing AC into two equal halves. Okay, and I'm drawing third median. This time I'm drawing from point C. Notice that these three medians are meeting at one point, but I don't want to use meeting kind of a term. I better say that this is the concurrent point. If two straight lines are intersecting, the point where these two straight lines cross each other, we call it as an intersecting point. But more than two lines are passing through the same point, we call it as a concurrent point. So here, the point of concurrency of all the three medians, already I showed what a median is. In first diagram, AM is the median. And in the second diagram, from point A, one median, from point B, another median, from point C, another median. So three medians are drawn. The point of concurrency is known as here. This is centroid. This centroid divides uh, any median of this diagram in the ratio 2:1. This is two parts and this is one part. This is how I remember, like the short one is at the bottom and the tall segment is at the top. But if you take, let's say, BP, and say some letters I'm taking. So BO and OP, if I'm taking, is BP two parts, sorry, BO two parts or OP two parts? So it may lead to this kind of some confusing questions. So in such case, what I prefer is, I prefer to remember this way: from the vertex, that is two parts, and the one which is touching the midpoint, that is one part. Anyhow, I'll give more examples when I take some questions from my worksheet. And if I'm taking CO and OK, please notice that C is the vertex. Vertex means the point, and from vertex it is 2 units, and next the towards the midpoint, from centroid to the midpoint, it is 1 unit. Okay, anyhow, I'll take a few questions based on this. And the next point describes the same thing: centroid of a triangle divides the given median in the ratio 2:1. Okay, so let's quickly jump to the next page, and also let me take some questions from the... All right, here triangle PQR has angles in the ratio 2:3:5. 2:3:5. I remember these kind of questions for sure you'll be asked in testing. So 2:3:5 means you may consider this one as 2x, 3x, and 5x. Why I'm taking x means because let's say that let me visualize the given question. There is a triangle, just I'm drawing a freehand sketch. The values may not be so accurate. Okay, I'm taking a triangle, and this triangle is this is a PQR. This is PQR. Okay, and I see that the ratio is 2:3:5. 2:3:5. But if I take this one, angle P as 2, angle Q as 3, angle R as 5, we know that sum of three angles of a triangle is 180. Therefore, if I take that angle P plus Q plus R equals to 180, please remember sum of three angles. Sum of three angles of a triangle equals to 180 degrees. But if I take, you see the funny part, 2 plus 3 plus 5, can it be 180 degrees or not? No. So there's something wrong. So instead of taking 2 plus 3 plus 5, you have to take 2x, 3x, and 5x. Again, at the end, I'll explain why I'm taking x. So let's continue working with x. So 2x plus 3x, that gives me 5x. 5x plus 5x, that gives me 10x. 10x equals to 180. You know how to isolate x? Division by 10. Then after the cancellation, x equals to 18 degrees. Well, so x equals to 80 degrees means we thought these angles as 2x, 3x, and 5x, right? So angle P equals to, that is here I am taking angle P, then that is 2x, and just now I got the value of x as 18. Therefore 2 times 18, that is equals to 36 degrees. Let me take angle Q equals to, you see that angle Q is here, which is equals to 3x, 3 times, just now we figured it out, what is the value of x? So let me plug in the value of x here. 3 times 18, that is 54 degrees. And next angle R, you can see that angle R is 5x. It is 5x. Therefore, it is 5 times x. In the place of x, let me plug in the value of x, which is 18. 5 times x is 5 times 18 is 90 degrees. So instead of 2, 3, instead of 2, 3, and 4, here if I take 36 degrees, this one I am taking from here, and 54 degrees, that is Q value, then this is 54 degrees, and this one is 90 degrees. Now the angles are 36, 54, and 90 degrees. That makes sense. Right? So this is an example how to find oops. Okay, so how to find the missing angles. So let me go to the next one. My next example is next question is similar to that. This is finding the exterior angle. So let me copy this. Okay. The rule says it's pretty easy question here. The rule says that in a triangle, I see that here 75 degrees, and here it is not given. This is also not given. And I see that 145 degrees, this is the exterior. Exterior means outside the triangle. Right? This is exterior angle. Therefore, please remember the condition: sum of two interior angles equals to third angles exterior, or third exterior angle. So here one is angle A is also not given. So let me read the question thoroughly and identify the information. In the accompanying diagram of triangle ABC, ABC is extended to D. Very good. Exterior angle CVD is 145 and measure of C is 75. What is the measure of angle CAB? Angle CAB. Therefore, C is here, A is here, and B is here. So the question is, what is the value of this one? So let me take this one as a variable which is x, right? And according to the condition, please remember sum of two interior angles. Therefore, here angle A plus angle C equals to, I know that this is my third angle, which is angle B, and exterior of that. Exterior means that is outside. I have to consider outside the, just a minute. Let me shade this one. So I have to consider the exterior means the outside of this triangle I have to take. So that is CBD. So as I told you before, please write the condition every time. Don't be in a hurry when you solve or when you practice. Maybe in testing, if you are taking online testing, then that's fine. But otherwise, you better to write every time so this point stays in your mind. So the value of angle A is x, and the value of C is 75 equals to CBD, which is 145 degrees. Please see that this is taken here, and value of C is taken here 75 degrees, and value of A here I am taking, which is x. Here onward, simple math, we subtract, we go for inverse operation, we subtract 75 on both the sides, So after the cancellation, I get x equals to 5 minus 5, 0, 14 minus 7, so the value of x is 70, which is angle A equals to 70 degrees. Okay. So let me take the next question from the worksheet, which is similar to the previous one. Sixth one is also same. And let me take really quick. Okay. I believe I forgot to mention the mid-segment theorem. The mid-segment theorem says that, okay, let me copy it on the whiteboard. Okay. This is one of the important questions, that is the mid-segment theorem. Okay. So the mid-segment theorem says that the line segment joining the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and half of that. How can you remember? Suppose D is the, let's say that D is the midpoint of side AB, E is the midpoint of side BC. So the value of D, let's say that if AC is 10 units, D is going to be half of that. That's it. I repeat, here, if this is the midpoint, if D is the midpoint and E is the midpoint of BC, this is the midpoint of BC, then this side DE is parallel to AC, and also, just I'm giving an example, it is not related to the given question. Let's say that this is some 12 units and this side will be exactly half of that. It is half of that. Okay, so just I'm giving you an example. Now let's read the given information, what the question says. Then the question says that in the diagram below, let me underline the key points. D is a mid segment, D is 7, so I see that this is given 7, so label the parts. AB is 10, so I see that AB is 10 units. If AB is 10 units means, please remember, D is the midpoint. D is the midpoint means then this one will be divided as 5 and 5. Please remember, D is the midpoint. BC is 13. So I see that this is 13 units. This is 13 units. Therefore, E is the midpoint means this is half of 13. Therefore, 6.5 and 6.5. The question is find the perimeter of triangle ABC. So perimeter of triangle ABC. Please remember, perimeter means that is the total length of the boundary line. Total length of the boundary line, that gives me the perimeter. Therefore, that is total length of boundary of the triangle. So how will I obtain that? By adding AB, BC and AC, all these three. So what is the length of AB? What is the length of AB? It's given that 10 units in the question. And what is the length of BC? This is 13 units. This is 13 units. So let me take 13 units plus what is the value of AC means we don't know. But in the beginning of the problem, already I explained that this is the mid segment and this is 7 units and the side is going to be double. It is going to be double to that. Therefore, this is 14. This is 14 units. How did you get means? You may mention that by mid-segment theorem, you have to show the working. segment theorem DE and AC. If you are taking 2 times DE, please remember 2 times the small one, that gives me AC. Therefore, AC equals to 2 times 7, that is 14 equals to AC. Therefore, the value of AC is 14, that is copied from here. Now you know how to sum up 10 plus 13, that gives me 23. 23 plus 14, 23, 33 and 4, 37. So it is 37 units. 37 units. That's the perimeter of the triangle ABC. That's the perimeter of the triangle ABC. Now let's go to the next page and one more question from the worksheet. Okay, so this is going to be easy. So TV, okay. Probably I think question number 10 is slightly harder. So I'm taking question 10, not the 9th one. So how to compute the segments. So let me copy this one. And okay. Well, this one is expected to take a little longer than the normal questions. Okay. So here in triangle TUV, TE, UD and VC are median. So please remember that the median divides, sorry, the centroid divides the medians in the ratio 2:1. Okay, so find EV if UV is 24. So where is UV? So this is UV. Friends, please notice that UV is not a median. It is not a median. Please remember that UV is not a median. It is a side. So find EV. EV means you are asked to find length from here to here, from here to here. What is the length of this one? If UV is 24, so I know that UV is 24, UV is 24, and you are asked to find this small piece, right? So I know that median divides the side into two equal halves. Therefore, if I divide 24 into two equal halves, so 24 divided by 2, that gives me 12 units. Therefore, EV is going to be 12. But the same thing you have to show in proper working. So you can say that so part one here, E is the midpoint. Please remember the median divides the opposite sides into two equal halves. So E is the midpoint of UV that divides into two equal halves. Therefore, 24 is divided by 2, that gives me 12 units. Therefore, I can say that length of EV equals to 12 units. Okay, or else you may write that EV equals to half of UV, and then plug in the values half of 24, that gives you 12 units. It's one and same. Okay, so let me remove this part. Okay, so half of 24 equals to this one, right? Then coming to second part of the question, if TC is 8 units, okay, then find TU. So here TC is given as 8 units, okay, then what's the value of TU? So Again here, C is the midpoint, C is the midpoint, C is the midpoint. Therefore, TU is twice TC. Therefore, 2 times 8, that gives me 16. Okay. Anyhow, I'm not continuing with the next part because it seems that this is similar to that, so it's easy. So let's go to the worksheet again and let me take a question properly related to the median, centroid, etc. So this question is copied. Let me go to my whiteboard. Oh, sorry. The previous question I thought is related to the medians. So I expected more time. Well, this is what you have to learn. This is maybe new concept. Find EV when VT is 5. So here VT is given that 5 units. 5 units. And what is the value of this one? EV. And we know that the ratio is 2 and 1, 2 and 1, right? So let me write that EV to VT equals to 2 is to 1. 2 is to 1. Friends, you know that when you combine these two, 2 and 1, that makes 3 portions. Right? So EV is going to be 2 portions and VT is going to be, let me use a different color. VT is going to be 1 portion. Right? So already VT is given in the given diagram. VT is given. Please notice that VT equals to 1 portion out of 3. So VT equals to 1 out of 3. From where I got 3 means that is the total number of parts. That's the denominator. That goes to the denominator. One third of median. 1/3 of median, which is ET in this case. So please notice that the whole length is ET. Okay. Now I know the value of VT is 5 units. I know that VT is equals to 5 units. So let me copy that. 1/3 of median ET. You know how to isolate ET? You have to multiply by 3 on both the sides. So the value of ET is equals to 5 3s 15. This is not the end of the story. And now you have to copy this one here, EV. So EV equals to, already I explained that EV is contributing 2 portions. Therefore EV is 2 out of the total number. The denominator is the total number of parts. 2/3 of median. 2/3 of median. Here median is ET. Therefore 2/3 of, what is the value of ET means just now we figured it out here, and this value is to be copied. Here, ET value. Therefore 2/3 of 15. Quickly grab your calculator. So 2 times 15, there is an invisible denominator 1 here. So 2 times 15, that gives me 30. Denominator 3 ones are 3. Therefore 30 over 3, that gives me 10 units. That's the value of EV. And next, if FR is 20.1, guys, the next question is FR is 20.1. I'm solving here. What is the measure of VR? What is the measure of VR? Please remember the portion which is associated with the vertex is the larger side. That means this is going to be 2 units, and the portion which is associated with the midpoint is 1, which is 1. So now the computation part is going to be super easy, because it is FV to VR equals to 2 to 1. Therefore, you are asked to figure out what is the value of VR. So FV is 2 and VR is 1. Therefore, VR equals to 1 out of 3 portions. Please remember, when I add these two, I'll get 3. 1/3 of median. 1/3 of median. So 1/3 of what is the median? The median length is given 20.1. Please see that median is given 20.1 units. Therefore, here 1/3 of 20.1, you may grab calculator, 3, 6, 18, you should get 6.7. That's the length of VR. So this is easier than the previous example. Okay, so that's it from me for